Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. So today is going to be my top 5 houseplants of May, and I did miss my top 5 houseplants of April just because my house was a little chaotic and it was kind of hard to film anything, so I missed filming April, but I am back. I am going to do my top 5 houseplants of May, and if anybody is not familiar with my top 5 houseplants of the month, I do show you 5 houseplants that have been doing well for the month, and then I do show you some care tips on where they sit in my house, how often I water them, just basic stuff like that. And then I do also show you one houseplant that has not been doing so well over the month, and then I ask for your tips or your help on how to help the plant. So let's just get started. Oh, before we get started, I want to thank everybody that has reached out to me on Instagram and just asked how I was doing, if I was okay. I really do appreciate that. But I am fine. I am back, and I'm going to be making more videos. So let's just get started on my top 5 houseplants of May. Okay, so the first plant I'm going to show you is this Hoya Astralis, and I did pick up this plant maybe 3 months ago or so at one of my favorite nurseries here. I do absolutely love this plant and all the variegation it has. This plant has grown so much for me. It has this really long tendril that is getting new little leaves, if you can see. It has all these new little leaves on there, so I'm really excited to watch this plant grow. And it is really such an easy plant for me. I do water this plant probably once a month, and it does hang on my ceiling by the grow light and the south-facing window. It's really easy. It's a really easy plant. I'm really happy that I have it because it's so beautiful. And it has grown so much for me, and it's just awesome. So this is my first plant here on my top 5 houseplants of May. Okay, so the next plant I'm going to show you is a plant that is one of my favorite genuses, and I love these plants. It is my Aglaonema, and this plant, I did pick it up at Home Depot probably like the beginning of the year. It has grown so much for me, and it just continues to grow. It's still in its nursery pot. And how much did I get it for? $12.98 at Home Depot. But I just have it sitting in this pretty purple pot. I'm just leaving it alone, letting it grow, letting it do its thing. But it does have so many new growths for me, and I really do love this plant. I do water it every other week, and it does sit upstairs, pulled back from my south-facing window on a shelf with all my other Aglaonema that I got recently, and it loves the spot that it's in. It is growing so much for me, and I really do love this plant. Okay, you guys, so this next plant I'm going to show you, I was super excited to see what is going on with this plant. So this is my Hoya Astralis. I've shown this plant multiple times on my channel. I think it was even on one of my top 5 houseplants of the month. I don't know, maybe a couple months back or so. But this plant I've had for quite a while. And when I was checking it out the other day, you guys, it has a peduncle. When I saw the peduncle on the Hoya Astralis, I was so excited. This is my second Hoya to bloom, and I've had this plant for so long, and it really hasn't done much. I mean, it does grow new leaves here and there, but it's never had a peduncle, so when I saw that, I was just so excited. This plant, I do water it about once a month. It sits upstairs in my south-facing window, and it's pretty close to the window, so it does get a lot of sunlight all day. And I'm just super happy that it is getting this little peduncle. I can't wait to watch it flower, and it's just awesome. I'm so excited for this plant. And that is my Hoya Aguavada. So the next plant I'm going to show you is an agave. And I did get this plant a couple of years ago at Home Depot. It's still in the nursery pot. I have not repotted it, but I was planning on repotting it, so I started taking a look at it more closely, and I saw that it had a whole bunch of little plants, little pups in there. So I was really excited for that. This plant was 25 bucks. So now that it has all these little plants that I can repot in their own pot and make an own plant out of it, I thought that it was really well worth the money. And I'm going to take one of these out and pot it in a little pot for my sister. She is really into plants, getting into plants. And I just gifted her one of my euphorbia. And I did gift her a philodendron, like the heartleaf philodendron, and so she's super happy with those. So now I'm going to gift her one of these little pups so she can watch it grow. But I really love this plant. I think it's so beautiful. I do only water this probably once a month, if that, sometimes even a little bit more. It does sit in the south-facing window upstairs. It really hasn't done too much, like I said. But now that it's growing the little pups, I'm really excited for that. And this plant is an Agave Victoria Reginae, maybe. This is the name of it. And like I said, I did get it $24.98 at Home Depot, probably a few years ago. But I love this agave, and I'm really happy that I have it. And it is the 4th plant here on my top 5 houseplants of May. Okay, so the last plant here on my top 5 houseplants of the month is my Monstera Adansonii. And this is the pot that is in. I did repot this plant. It was in a smaller pot when I bought it. And I've had this plant for at least, I'm going to say at least 2 years now. I first bought a Monstera Adansonii at Lowe's probably like 2.5 years ago, and it was so beautiful. I absolutely loved the plant, and one day I noticed that it was not looking so great, so I did check it over carefully, and I found mealybugs, and it totally destroyed the plant, so I threw it away. And I was really sad because this is such a beautiful plant. So then I found another one at Lowe's, and I grabbed it up right away, brought it home. It was looking so good. Next thing you know, it has mealybugs. So I was really just done with the Monstera Adansonii. So I swore that I would never buy another Adansonii. But when I saw this one at Lowe's, I did pick it up, and I crossed my fingers that everything would go okay. And so far so good. It's been a while, and I have not seen any mealybugs on it. Knock on wood. But it's doing great. I did put it on this moss pole, and it's outgrown the moss pole, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might have to just chop it and propagate it, but I'm not sure yet. So it is growing all the time for me. It loves the spot it's in. It is sitting in my south-facing window down here in my plant room, and I do water it every other week. So it's doing really good. I'm really happy with this plant, and I just love it so much. So this is my Monstera Adansonii. Okay, you guys, so the last plant I showed you was my Monstera Adansonii. That one is the wide form. So the plant that I'm going to show you that is not doing so well for the month is this Monstera Adansonii narrow form. So I did buy this at one of my favorite nurseries here, and it was so beautiful, doing so great. Now it looks really sad. It's really A lot of the leaves have fallen off. It has a lot of dead, crispy leaves, yellowing leaves. It does have new growth, but it's just not looking great. It's really bare in the back. So I'm thinking that it needs to be repotted. I'm sure it is root bound, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think? So the leaves are yellow and brown, crispy. I do have it sitting close to the grow light, so it does get a lot of light. So I don't know if that's the problem, but I'm really thinking that it's just root bound and it needs to be repotted. So maybe I'll have to do a repotting video so we can check out the roots on this thing. But I hope that it lives because it's a really beautiful plant. I mean, like I said, it does have tons of new growth, but then it also has a lot of yellowing and dead, crispy leaves. So I'm just not sure about this plant. And it looks like a mess. It's just all over the place, and I just don't know what to do with it. So if you guys have any ideas or you can help me out with this plant, leave them in the comments down below so I can save this plant and make it look beautiful. So that is my Monstera Adansonii narrow form. Okay, you guys, so that was my top 5 houseplants of May. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the top 5 houseplants of the month, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more plant videos from me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I just want to thank everybody so much for watching. And until next time, guys, bye.